Welcome back, our dear viewers. The Conference of Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP27, it was inaugurated on the leaders level yesterday at the Red Sea Resort by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The President said that at his opening speech that the planet has become a world of suffering. He said that the climate change will never stop without the world's intervention. The head of state added that the conference outcome will contribute to making the lives of millions of people better. To shed more light on that, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Osama Shilbaya, the Dean and Professor of the Faculty of Navigation and Space Technology, Bani Suef University. Good morning, Dr. Shilbaya.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Sir, can you shed light about the role of the space technology in ensuring the presence of the climate change?
First of all, the climate change now, it is a fact. We all human beings on the planet Earth affected by this climate change. And the more affected is the more poor countries and the development countries. If you see the effects of climate change include higher temperatures, increases in the precipitation pattern, rising sea levels, weather-related natural disasters. This all increased drought and decreased food security.
Yeah.
That's why we are all human beings on Earth gathered in Sharm el-Sheikh in this international conference, COP27, in order to find out what to do and how can we cooperate for these climate change disasters.
Indeed. Dr. Shilbaya, actually the President in his speech yesterday before the session of the COP27 said that the world has actually to contribute in order to intervene to stop the repercussion of the climate change. And if we did not unite here in order to reach that, we will all be in a deep trouble. How we can intervene here in order to stop the repercussion of the climate change, which has been clear every single day more and more?
Yeah, that's true. I think President Sisi highlighted this point, that without the world cooperation and the world united in order to take all the processes and the decisions and the precautions in order either to decrease this climate change hazards or to mitigate with that change. Without this, our planet going to a dark future in that matter. I would like to say, for example, if we have over 36 million hectares of CO2 were emitted in year 2014, and if we look to 2018, there is increase by 2.7% compared to 1.6% raise in 2017. So this is an alarm to our nations in order to take all the process and as the President's speech said, let us put the implementations. We need to put implementation to all what we need to do. So I think this international conference, COP27, is seeking the implementation.
Yes. Sir, also in his speech before the conference, the French President Emmanuel Macron urged the United States, China and the other non-European rich nations to pay their fair share to help the poorer countries deal with the climate change. What's the necessity of doing that, and why till now we didn't see the developed countries who bear the brunt of the responsibility here of the majority of the climate change issues and the CO2 emissions to pay for that, which Africa is only responsible for about 4% of the total emissions here.
Yeah, this is true. China and the United States each produce about a third of the world's carbon emissions. Can you imagine? Two countries only, one third, which is really a big responsibilities that these countries must have to look for the effects on other countries all over the world, especially the poor and development countries. Especially our continent, Africa, is really one of the most affected by this climate change, as we see all over the continent of Africa.
Yes. Also in his speech, the Senegalese President Macky Sall, which is now is the African Union chairperson, said that Africa is backing the moderate carbon emission until zero emission rate is reached. He stressed that Africa bears the brunt here of the climate adaptation. What's your take on that, Dr. Shilbaya?
I liked very much his Excellency speech, that it is alarming that Africa is one of these countries that facing all the disasters because the rich countries or the civilized and the developed countries can try to unite it in order to face this together, not only the Africa, but all the world. The whole world has to stand up and to gather and to unite it to overcome this climate change, either by taking all the measures to solve and to try not to go with the to grow up with this emission of gases.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Shilbaya, also the UN Climate Change High-Level Chairperson, champion for Egypt, Mahmoud Muhyiddin, has urged pushing forward the climate action agenda in Africa by increasing the climate-related projects and investments. What's your take on this?
Yeah, this is also one of the most important points that we have to look in Africa, and this is also a great appointment to Dr. Muhyiddin, because he is one of the most active persons in this direction, because what we call climate change is economy, and economy is backing to climate change effects as well. So I really admire that step to gather all the specialists from all the diversities, other scientists or economists or politicians, in order to take an action. Of course, we agree about the climate change is a fact. And this fact has to be considered in the future for our generations. The new generation will face more if we didn't take these actions from now.
Yes. Sir, actually, as we have just been talking, Africa, although Africa has contributed little to the global emissions, it is already being disproportionately affected by the impact of the climate change. What is the importance here of adopting a climate action-oriented path that can deliver on both the African development as well as on the climate change goals?
The main point here is that we are on one planet.
Yeah.
This our Earth.
Yes.
And the new civilization cannot ignore these countries and look only for their own interest in this highly contributed to the emissions. So we have to work again, as it comes in the speech of the President Sisi, that let us be united and let us stop that war and be keen of our planet. We have only one planet. We don't have other planets to go and to live for our new generations and from all the countries. We need to be united in order to face together the effects of climate change.
Yes. Dr. Shilbaya, how do you view the need here to focus on building low-emission, climate-resilient societies and creating further green job opportunities?
This is a very good point you highlighted, that with the technology, with science, with all we have to work on, we can, this is true, we can stand together against the effects of climate change. On parallel, we need to see how much we will contribute to the green economy, the green technology. Of course, this will take some time, but by the end of the road, we will find a solution. I am sure by human thinking and human technology progressing, we will see now the green cars and the green factories. And by trying to develop the technology of agriculture as well, we will face this problem soon. Otherwise, the future, as I said, will be very dark for the whole people in this planet.
Indeed. Dr. Osama Shilbaya, Dean and Professor of the Faculty of Navigation and Space Technology, Bani Suef University. Thank you very much, sir, for your precious input and for being our guest, and have a lovely day. Our dear viewers, now we'll go to a short break, and after that we'll be back to resume our segments today covering the COP27 summit in Sharm el-Sheikh.